In a quiet town, nestled between shadowed hills and whispering woods, stood the Moonlight Inn, a sanctuary of warmth and serenity. The inn, with its soft golden lights and gentle hum of stillness, was a place where weary travelers could shed the weight of their journey and embrace the coming night. The air around it always carried a faint sweetness, as if the stars themselves whispered blessings upon its roof. One crisp autumn evening, under a silver-tinged moon, Lucas arrived at the inn. The cobblestone street glistened faintly with dew as he approached the heavy oak door, which opened with a quiet creak. Inside, the world seemed to exhale. Flickering candlelight danced across the wooden walls, and the soothing scent of lavender wrapped around him like a comforting blanket. The warmth of the fire crackled softly in the hearth, inviting him to step in. The innkeeper, Jane, greeted him with a knowing smile. Her presence was as calming as the inn itself, graceful, serene, and timeless. Without a word, she led Lucas to his room, her footsteps barely audible on the wooden floors. The room was simple but enchanting, with a large window that framed the moonlit forest beyond. The night seemed alive, but not in a way that disturbed. It was a symphony of rustling leaves and distant old chords, a melody that soothed the soul. As Lucas set down his bag, his eyes were drawn to a book resting on the bedside table. Its leather cover shimmered faintly, embossed with delicate silver stars. He picked it up, running his fingers over its surface. The pages were blank at first, but as he touched them, gentle words began to form, their presence as soft as a whisper. The story that unfolded was his own, a tender retelling of moments both significant and small. It reminded him of joys he had forgotten and sorrows he had buried, all woven together with a thread of quiet understanding. He turned the pages slowly, savoring each word. The book didn't stop at the present. It hinted at the journey yet to come, a path through the forest where something precious awaited him. The moonlight streaming through the window seemed to nod in agreement, urging him to trust the tale. The next morning, with the gentle pull of the story guiding him, Lucas ventured into the woods. The forest was alive, but its presence was so soothing. Fireflies hovered like tiny lanterns, their glow casting soft halos on the path. The cool breeze carried a faint melody, one that seemed to harmonize his steps. It was as though the forest itself was leading him. He reached a clearing where an ancient oak tree stood, its roots twisting like protective arms around the earth. Beneath it lay a small wooden box. When Lucas opened it, he found a pocket watch, its face cracked but still ticking steadily. A deep warmth filled him as he recognized it. The watch had belonged to his father, a man whose laughter and love had once been the anchor of his world. As he cradled the watch, memories floated back like gentle waves. His father's reassuring voice, their shared moments under a sky much like this one. This forest seemed to hum softly, as if acknowledging his silent gratitude. Lucas felt a deep peace settle within him. a release of burdens he hadn't realized he carried. When he returned to the inn, Jane was sitting by the fire. Her eyes met his, filled with a quiet understanding that needed no words. She smiled, a gesture as soft as the morning light filtering through the windows. The Moonlight Inn had given Lucas more than a place to rest. It had offered him a gift, a connection to his past, and the strength to move forward. The inn stood as a haven, its doors always open to those seeking solace, its warmth ready to embrace everyone who wandered in. As Lucas stepped out into the dawn, the world seemed lighter. The cobblestone path glistened anew, and the whispering woods bade him farewell. Behind him, the Moonlight Inn stood quietly, its golden lights dimming with the rising sun, ready to welcome the next soul in need to its gentle magic. Not all who wander are lost. Some find their way at the Moonlight Inn.